of the stadium acknowledge me.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe. Scoops. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumors, and results. And what a load of show I have for you guys and girls today, right here on Kick It to Scoops. You know what? I thought I would change up Scoops Goes Bang a little bit. Change it to what? It'll be different topics to bang on about. Obviously, this round I would describe as the round of what the hell. We've had embarrassing losses where a team that lost by 85 points wasn't the worst margin for the round. We had a team who is on top of the ladder lose by 112 points to a side whose coach has been shit on all year by its fan base. And they were also down 71-0 through the second quarter. What the hell is this round? Then this round, we also had teams choke 4 to 5 goal leads. Then we also had a man by the name of Scott Pendlebury plays 400th game, and Mitch McGovern had the opportunity to place the party pooper, and he failed after missing after the siren completely 30 metres out on a slight angle. So the nerves got to Mitch McGovern. He's ruined Collingwood's hearts before when he was a Crow. But yeah, what the hell was this round? We're going to dive right into all that. And with 3 rounds to go, I would say there is 11 teams left that can make the finals. That includes the 8 that are in there right now: Hawthorn, Collingwood after their win, and to a degree, because they somehow stole the win against the Dockers, Essendon. Strap yourselves in. We're in for a big show. Also, if you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees or any state league players like VFLW, Waffle W, Sample W, VFL Waffle or Sample, and you'll have some in the podcast and a Gold King Challenge or an interview, please send me a message trying to get something sorted. There's plenty more vlogs and videos to check out. If you haven't seen some of the recent videos, which include an interview today with Queensland AFLW Young Star Draft Prospect Annabelle Fote. Obviously, the highlights between Annabelle's Queensland side against WA in the Under-18 Championships in the AFLW side of things. There's a highlights reel on the channel if you want to have a check of that. And also any other videos. Scoops Matchday Vlog into Lions wasn't the biggest vlog, but a vlog you'll want to check out if you don't like seeing me happy. So go and check that out. So there's a lot of videos on the content. My Scoops AFL Draft Power Rankings throughout the last week, so go and check that out if you haven't already. My AFLW Draft Power Rankings out about a month ago. If you want to check out that as well, please go and do so. And cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 3K, slowly but surely. Let's get there. As I said on my Instagram stories and Facebook posts, the podcast we were on tonight, due to some other commitments I had, personal commitments that I had. But I'm here, and I never disappoint. Now, I'm not going to disappoint with this segment too. Please welcome the world-famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Boom. Oh, boy. What are we going to talk about? Actually, before I do that, let's go back. Let's rewind. Kick it to Scoops. No Scoops Goes Bang just yet. Congratulations to Tom Hawkins, who has announced his retirement from the AFL. Tom Hawkins has currently played 359 games. I've probably stuffed that up. 359 games Tom Hawkins has played. Obviously a big milestone for him. Yep, 359. I knew I should have backed myself in. 359 games. He's out for another 2 weeks with a foot injury. So he might play the last game of the home and away season and finals if they make it. I don't like Geelong. I made this abundantly clear. But there's only a few players at Geelong that I will respect, and one of those is Tom Hawkins. I've had the privilege to meet Tom about 5 years ago. I don't need to say where, but I met him 5 years ago. Had a chat to him. I didn't have the channel. Well, I had the Facebook page. I didn't have the podcast and everything back then. If I did, I would have interviewed him in that moment. But I spoke to him, and I said to Tom, obviously, I've been wanting to know this question from this point was about 10 years from 2009 grand final. I said, Tom, I want to know the truth, please. Did you hit the bloody post at halftime? And he did. And we had a great chat about that. He had a bit of a joke about it, of course, and it's about the score review bringing in the year after and all that crap. Good chat for him for good 5 minutes, or around the 5-minute mark. So, so I tell people about, players at the AFL and AFLW level in particular, they don't understand how big of a moment a 5-minute conversation could be. A 2-minute conversation, some kind words, a message back, a reply to a post you make and they're tagged in it or whatever, or just in general, they don't realise how big some of these moments can be. Congratulations to Tom Hawkins on his career. Dustin Martin announced his retirement from Richmond effective immediately, or immediate effect as they called it. So he will not play ever again. He played 302 AFL games. Congratulations to Dustin Martin as well. And I'm sure there'll be more retirements. Sam Reid was one previously. Brandon Ellis as well, late last week. So one under Brandon Ellis. Obviously won a premiership with Richmond as well. They moved to the Suns the last few years. He played over 250 games, and Sam Reid was around 200. So well on to those four altogether, and any more that happens throughout the weeks coming and after that. Okay, now, let's go back and start officially with the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Oh boy, what are we going to bang on about today? Oh boy. Now, I kept it a secret. It's a secret. Now let's reveal the secret. Okay, the two topics I'm going to be banging on about today. First off is the Gold Coast Suns blowing a perfect opportunity to play finals this year. Now, we know that Hawthorn just blew a game against GWS and they choked the lead. We'll get to that in the review. But Gold Coast, for this year as a whole, had a prime opportunity, okay, to make finals. And they've stuffed it up, okay? They've stuffed it up. And they've got no one to blame but themselves. Don't give me this Saints game and the Max King free with Mac Andrew. That's rubbish. That was a free. Stop crying about it. It may have been soft, but it was there. So quit crying about it, as a WWE wrestler would say, Liv Morgan would say. If you don't like it, you can go cry about it. And quite frankly, they're still crying about it to this day, some Gold Coast fans that I know and I have seen online. Maybe, just maybe blame yourselves for blowing games against North Melbourne at Marvel, blowing it in Perth on West Coast on the weekend, and some other games throughout the season. Blame them. And it's funny, the Lord and Saviour, Damien Hardwick, people said they were going to get him into finals, that he was going to turn this club around. Well, Stuart Dew, I said from the start, laid the groundwork, and if they made finals, it wouldn't be because of Dimmer, it'd be all because of Stuart Dew and the players, not Damien Hardwick. He just fell into this team. And even the so-called master couldn't get him into finals. So what does that tell you? It wasn't Stuart Dew's fault, as I've always said, from the time he was sacked till now, and the lead up to him getting sacked. I said it wasn't his fault, it was the players' fault. And maybe they need some ownership on some of their star players as well. Like Matt Rowell, he does a lot with the ball. He doesn't get it enough consistently. Noah Anderson's efficiency late has been absolutely useless. Some players have been all over the place. The coach just hasn't been seen for a while. Ben King's had the yips lately. Ben Long's done nothing for half the season, who's got a consistent game in the last 10 weeks. Like Jared Witts has been injured, and Ned Moore hasn't lived up to the hype that a lot of people have had him to. They've missed guys like Will Powell, guys that are coming to that side. Like Joel Jeffrey hasn't had a kick for about 10 weeks. There's some interesting selection decisions that Hardwick's done, like Braden Fiorini and Alex. Not Alex Davies, he's been suspended, but Braden Fiorini and Rory Atkins, they're the two that have been missing from the side. You want to talk about rewarding VFL form, and those two have hardly played a game this year consistently, and they both dominated the twos. Alex Sexton's been played out of position, not his fault, it's a coach's fault. And how some guys get a game is just beyond me, and how guys like Rory Atkins and Braden Fiorini aren't getting consistent games, and why Gold Coast delisted Brodie McLaughlin, who is starring in the VFL for Frankston at the moment, doing very well for himself in the 30 range of the goals so far this year. So this, for Williamstown rather, not Frankston. Williamstown is Brodie McLaughlin, their son. It was, some list management decisions that you got to question. Some players that, as I said, been out of form. So blame Damien Hardwick and the players. Forget about blaming Stewie Dew. He wasn't the problem. Hardwick's fault this year with the players. So maybe that's just telling you that playing list needs to be changed properly. And the Lord and Savior, as people would call him, Damien Hardwick, hasn't changed a damn thing. They basically won the same amount of games as they did with Stuart Dew. So maybe think that Stuart Dew wasn't the problem. I've been telling you this before Dew was sacked, that he is not the problem. The players are. And Damien Hardwick, I told you, would not be the Lord and Savior. And if they did make finals, it wasn't because of Hardwick. It was because mainly of Stuart Dew's previous work at the club. And I told you about booing Stuart Dew a few weeks ago when he was in the Brisbane coach's box for whatever reason. And you were booing in the fans. This is like a karma type thing. I like the Gold Coast Suns, but like all those things I just outlined are the problem. And this is why they're not playing finals in season 2024. They got no one else but to blame but themselves. Bad luck. Now, the next topic and the final topic on Scoop Shares Bang. The disrespect consistently shown by the AFL media and fan base towards Adam Treloar. Adam Treloar has had a fantastic season. Okay? A fantastic season. He's without a doubt been the Western Bulldogs' best player this season by far. I know people are going to be laughing at me and say, oh, what about Bontempelli? The guy's gone missing for half the season in patches. So Adam Treloar hasn't gone missing for half the season in hardly any game he's played. So Adam Treloar has clearly been the best player for the Western Bulldogs this year. Plain and simple. That's not an insult to anyone. That's just a fact of life. Yeah. Adam Treloar has had a terrific season. He played his 250th game on the weekend, had a terrific game, kicked 2, had 30 touches, had a bunch of clearances and score involvements as no man can do like Adam Treloar. Fantastic player. The Pies shouldn't have let him go. They wanted out the salary cap. The Giants, he started his career. Adam Treloar would have to be one of the players, the most disrespected players by fan base in terms of respect, in terms of like, not that they're mean to him or anything, but like the outright disrespect from the fan base and the AFL media to not praising Adam Treloar enough. Like, what the hell is he meant to do? You know, for a long, long time, there's some names that come to mind every time. You know, Tom Mitchell and Lockie Neal and Nat 5 are 3 perfect examples, and Brad Crouch as well. The first 3 have won Brownlow medals, and Brad Crouch has had a bloody good career as well. You know, all these guys, people in the media in particular and fan base, oh, they don't do nothing with it. They're just a bunch of bloody accumulators and do nothing with it. Well, 3 of them have won Brownlows. One of those 3 have won a Brownlow twice, and Brad Krause has won Best and Fairest and been up there every bloody year he's played when he's not been injured. You know, he won a premiership BNF for the Crows, been up there in some of the Saints BNFs when he hasn't been injured. So, you know, I think it's time to put some bloody respect on the name of Adam Treloar. I've bloody shown it throughout his whole career, and that won't change. But the fan base and the AFL media need to bloody change the narrative towards Adam Treloar. I don't like doing spoilers, but I'm going to give you one bloody spoiler. Adam Treloar will bloody be in my All-Australian team. He'll be on the starting bloody field. He'll be the first chosen player in the midfield for me. Without a shadow of a bloody doubt. Without a doubt. Adam Treloar is a lock for All-Australian. He's a contender for the Brownlow medal. Don't even give me any other Bulldogs players to say that they've been better than him, because you just simply cannot name a bloody player at the Bulldogs who's come even close to Adam Treloar's fantastic season. And you want to know how I'm going to tell you this? Well, let me talk to you and spit some facts back at you. Now, Adam Treloar, let's get his stats up here. I'm going to, and by the way, I've never met Adam Treloar, so you can't say this is biased or anything like that. I've never met him, never spoke to him on a message or anything like that, never on a post, nothing. But I'm going to tell you right now, Adam Treloar is averaging, get this, Adam Treloar is averaging the most disposals in the competition this year with 32.2 games, 32.2 disposals per game this season. He's also missed a game, and he's only 5 possessions behind the leader in the disposal count for this season, and he's missed a game or 2. He's averaging 32.2 disposals this year. He's averaging 5 tackles a game, 6 clearances a game. His disposal efficiency is over 70%. And for someone that accumulates it so much, it's bloody good. A guy that's on the ground a lot, he's averaging over 12 contested possessions a game, just under 10 ground ball gets a game. He's averaging 6 clearances, as I said. He's averaging over 3 marks a game. He's kicking around a goal a game. He's averaging 7.5 score involvements a game. So clearly, Adam Treloar has been the Bulldogs' best player, and he's a bloody lock for this year's All-Australian. I hear some people going, Adam Treloar's not getting in. You have got to be so stupid and so biased to not even consider putting Adam Treloar in your All-Australian team. I mean, if you do an All-Australian team and you don't have Adam Treloar in it, you might as well scrap the whole lot and name a bunch of waffle hacks or VFL hacks or sample hacks, because you're just not even trying at this point. You're just taking the piss. So to the people that don't show enough respect or any respect towards Adam Treloar, lift your bloody game. Pathetic. Hope you guys and girls enjoyed that edition of the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Boom. Boom. Right. So let me talk to you again about some other topics. All right, let's go through. Oh, by the way, I scored a decent score in Supercoach, which should I get to now? Stuff it. Let's go into it right now. Yeah, let's go do that, I think. Let's do it, shall we? Let's go through my Supercoach talk. My Supercoach talk, I scored 2,389 in the top 27%. So my score overall ranking is top 27%, which is low for my standards. But top 28% for the round with that score just shows how insane some scores are. I thought I was going to be in the top 5% for sure, maybe even top 2. And I thought, what the hell? Like, gee whiz. You know, I had some good scores. I still got 1 trade remaining. You know, it is what it is. Noah Anderson and Sam Walsh are just shit in the bed for Supercoach players. Noah Anderson under 100 again. Walsh just scraped over. Same with Sarong. Grundy got under 100. Heaney got under 100. Dylan Moore got under 100. Charlie Kerner got 33. Like, it's just completely unacceptable, to be honest. You know, and it just is what it is. My 1 trade, my plan of attack was to upgrade Alex Sexton. But now that may not happen, as Brodie Grundy may be rested in the last 3 games, for one of the last 3 games is John Longmire. And the only way I could do that by getting rid of Sexton was to get Luke Jackson, who I don't want. So then if Grundy goes out, then I could put Luke Jackson in there, got Cumming Livingston on the bench. That's the only way I can do it. And I don't want to do it. So I might just wait to the last round to make this trade, to be honest, if Grundy is playing at the last round or plays the whole games, because I don't want to make this trade. If Grundy ends up going out, I'm going to have to wait now. Thanks a lot, John Horse Longmire, for doing that. Really appreciate it. Tell us now so I know what I'm doing. Even if he's going to be bloody rested, if it's the last game, well, then I'm supposed that I have to bring in Luke Jackson anyway, so I can't win either way. But here we are. Yeah, so comment down below how you went. Now, with 3 rounds to go, in my Supercoach fan group page, I'm 148th, which is not great either, if I'm being brutally honest. You know, people, if you're eliminated in your leagues, you know, don't think it's over. You still got your overall ranking, but more importantly, if you're in my Scoops fan group league, Supercoach league, you want to know how you're going, right? So let me talk to you. Let's look at the leaders. We've still got Declan, who is rowing the Saints. 47,137. Second place is Ben on 46,988. Justin in third place on 46,982. Riley, not Rolls Macca, in fourth place, 46,973. And in fifth place, we have Zach on 46,826, who is past Rolls Macca by about 32 points. Interesting. In sixth, we got Rolls Macca. Seventh, we got Josh. Then 8th, we got Shano. In 9th, we got Jesse. And 10, we got Kiri, who I believe maybe the first time he's been in the top 10, which is very, very interesting. And we got, where is he? Graz has dropped all the way to 26. So there you go. Alrighty, now let's go into my round 21 Scoops AFL Team of the Week. So let's go through my team of the week. Alrighty. From the back line, the pockets, Josh Battle! And Jeremy Howe. Full back, Jeremy McGovern. Half back line, the flankers, Nick Newman and Bailey Dale. Centre half back, Darcy Moore. Wingers, Lockie Whitfield and Andrew Brayshaw. Centerman, LDU, Luke Davies-Uniacke. Half forward line, the flankers, Mitch Georgiades and Jake Waterman. Centre half forward, Jesse Hogan. Forward line, the pockets, Nick Larkey and Jake Stringer. Full forward, Joe Danaher. Ruckman, Jared Witts. Centerman, or Rovers, Adam Treloar and Willem Drew. Interchange, Luke Ryan, Colby McKercher, Matt Rowell, Ollie Wines, and Jeremy Cameron. Emergencies, Jai Amos, Jade Gresham, Riley O'Brien, Darcy Parrish, Jai Caldwell, and Marcus Bontempelli. All right, reasons. Let's have a look, shall we? All right, so, Josh Battle, I know people are going to tell me, St Kilda lost by 85. Who gives a shit what we lost by? The fact of the matter is, it's individually who done well. As an intercept defender, Josh Battle had 24 possessions, 24 disposals, 16 intercept possessions, okay? 12 contested possessions, and a lot of meters gained in 1%ers. So Josh Battle was a lock for me this week. Jeremy McGovern had high intercepts and everything and had a good game. Jeremy Howe had 20 disposals and 14 intercepts or something. He's done really well down back this week. And Nick Newman had 34 disposals, was a lock. Bailey Dale had 32 and was a lock. Darcy Moore defeated Charlie Kerner, who was kept goalless, so he was a lock. Lockie Whitfield, 37, was a lock. Luke Davies-Uniacke kicked 3 and 33. Do I need to say more? Andrew Brayshaw had 34. Mitch Georgiades kicked 4. Jesse Hogan kicked 5. Jake Waterman kicked 4. Nick Larkey kicked 5. Joe Danaher kicked 4 and was good against the Saints. Jake Stringer kicked 4 and was one of the difference makers for Essendon. Jared Witts had 50-something hit-outs with 21 disposals and a goal. Do I need to say more? Adam Treloar, 2 goals, 32 disposals, 12 score involvements, 12 clearances. An absolute beast is Adam Treloar, and 2 goal assists as well. Willem Drew had 32 disposals, 11 clearances, was an earned spot in the team of the week, an earned spot. Luke Ryan, stiff to be on the bench, you could say, 30 disposals, key defender, one of his best games of late. Colby McKercher on halfback at 31. Matt Rowell had 21 contested possessions. Ollie Wines had 32 and was decent in clearances as well, Willem Drew around 8, I think. And Jeremy Cameron kicked 6. Yes, he's on the bench. Quite frankly, he didn't deserve to be in it, and I wasn't going to put him in. And considering there's all other forwards on the ground, he did better than him, named in the 4 line right now, including the Talls. I didn't want to put him in. I probably thought that was too many, but I've just gone him in ahead of another midfielder. So comment down below what you would have done. Riley O'Brien was the next ruck. Jai Amos was the next key position player. Jade Gresham was a small forward option. And Darcy Parrish, Caldwell, and the other guy, Bontempelli, as midfield considerations. Probably in that order that I've written it in. Well, whatever, it doesn't really matter. All right, so that's my team of the week. Comment down below. Remember, if you're going to criticize, do your own team or be quiet. Now, let's go review the round 21 games. A very interesting round, to say the least, to be brutally honest. I said a bit earlier off the top, the round of what the hell this was. I call it the what the hell round of round 21 of 2024. But we're going to go in order. So let's go to the first game. It was all the way on Friday night. There was a double header. It was the Bulldogs in Melbourne. I'm not going to say much on games that were, crap, because I'll be here all night. I'd rather talk about the games that were actually really good as well. The Bulldogs did what they did. Jamara Treloar did terrific. Mainly Treloar. Surprise, surprise, he's good again. Bailey Dale was good. But yeah, all round, they just played really well, and Melbourne really never fired a shot, and that's really disappointing because their season's now gone. Gone. Doesn't matter. It's gone. Absolute shit the bed they did as well. So did Hawthorn. They choked the lead, as did Freo, but we'll get to them in a second. So, I'm not going to say much, to be brutally honest. They don't really deserve any more mentions, because they were bad and they've got no one to blame themselves. 51-point loss, 110 to 59. That's just completely unacceptable. Now, great game, the double Friday night game, the Eagles and Suns. I know, disappointing for the Suns, 97-87 Eagles win. Eagles came from behind a little bit, got a good win. Yo and Waterman and Darling were really, really good. Kelly played his role. Cripps kicked a great goal late. He ruined the Bulldog season. He got my saying as his ex-team into the finals last year. Now he took the Gold Coast Suns out of finals contention. Jamie Cripps loves helping and ruining team seasons late in the year. Thank you, Jamie Cripps, for what you did last year. I'll never forget that. You ran away from us, and then you helped us last year. Thank you, Jamie Cripps. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. There you go. You're too late for that, but there you are. Jamie Cripps loves being the man that ruins people's finals streams and sick-tempered plans, I guess. Well, maybe Gold Coast can go up on the Gold Coast, go on the beach, because they're not going to be playing on the footy field in finals in September this year. And as I said earlier, no one to blame themselves. Jared Witts was terrific. And Rao, I know Anderson had high numbers. He was a bit better in efficiency this week. He was fine, but didn't do too much for his standards. Will Powell played his part. He had 11 handballs and 13 kicks, so 24 possessions. That's about it. And the rest didn't turn up. And that's disappointing. Malcolm Roses deserves to be dropped. I know he's the sub. If you watched his game, he was absolutely disgraceful and cost him a few goals, being fumbly and everything like that. But then he played in the VFL the day after, which is pretty impressive because he was in Perth the night before. And then Gold Coast had like an 11 o'clock game at home. So credit to him for doing that. Kicked 4 in that VFL game, but it still deserves to be dropped. All right, next game to go through. Jamie Cripps, by the way, he didn't just kick one goal. Jamie Cripps, he didn't just kick one goal. He had 23 possessions, which was probably one of his career highs. So he had a bloody great game. The next game, North Melbourne 90, Richmond 77. North fans were carrying on about this win and like, yeah, great, you got to win. Right, this selfie crap. Now, this is just reminding me, this is it. That's it. Please welcome back an exclusive emergency edition of the world famous segment. Scoops goes bang. Now, last week I was criticising the Bulldogs for carrying on when whoever they beat last week. And now here's North Melbourne going selfie mode again. Like, you beat Richmond, for God's sakes. Richmond. They're playing their VFL team right now. They've got bloody 15 injuries. Martin hasn't been playing well and has been injured and all this stuff. Like, seriously, why you carrying on? Now, we know North are no good. We know you're going to take all the little wins. But like this, if you beat Melbourne or someone, not even Melbourne, they're bad at the moment in the men's. But if you beat like Sydney and Port or Freo or Saints or someone like, credit to you. Good on you. But you didn't. You beat Richmond, who are terrible and have no team available of the best 22, really. Obviously, they got Bolter and Liam Baker and co. Shai Bolton's checked out. He's going off to Fremantle, looks like, apparently. If Richmond will allow it, I don't think they should. But if he's going to play like that, Shai Bolton, you might as well ship him off now and get what you probably don't deserve for him, but because he's contracted, you would. Freo will have to pay up. But then, there's a few players that shouldn't be getting the games, but like I said, there's all these injuries, and that's what happens. For the Roos, Sheasel was good. Larkey was good. Surhar's come off a 5-year deal. Yeah, besides his teammate Nick Larkey, and seems to be a good mate. A lot of the club were really up and about. And if you watch the the announcement in front of the group, they looked really excited. Jai Simpkin patted him on the back of the head because he was standing behind him or whatever. And there was a lot of and they're all smiling and getting around him. There was really none of that. See, they knew he was leaving, but Sydney rejected. They got rid of their offer for him. So he had no choice but to stay at North. But why don't people think about it? Even their players knew he was going. But he didn't leave now because Sydney removed their offer to him. Plain and simple. And no other club wanted him, obviously. So, the Bull, as they call him, he can keep playing for the bottom 4 every year for the rest of his career, pretty much. Sheasel played his part. LDU is terrific. And Tristan Sherry was really good with 20 disposals and 45 hitouts against Toby Nankervis, who's a decent ruckman in his own right. So, credit to him for pushing through in that game. All right, the next game I'm going to go through because that's enough of that game. Let's go to the next game, which was Geelong and Adelaide. Geelong 90, Adelaide 85. I thought, Darcy Fogarty made his presence known up forward. So did Tex Walker. Riley Thilthorpe at stages as well. Josh Rochelle late. Some dodgy umpiring again going Geelong's way. Like, just pathetic. I mean, it's getting ridiculous that I have to keep bringing this up every week, the umpiring, and in particular in Geelong games. Geelong are the most protected club in the competition. How many bloody times do I have to tell you people? And how many times is it going to take for you to realise that? I've got a lot of people that are saying it now, but we need everyone to get on board with this. If you're not a Geelong fan, you bloody know they're the most protected club in the competition. They get favoured in everything. Chris Scott says what he liked and doesn't get reprimanded. Some coaches get please explains, and everything like that. But look, Jeremy Cameron kicked 6, but I would think that is the worst 6-goal game of recent memory. Okay? You got a few Joey the Gooses out the back, as they say, from Dempsey or Stengel, etc. You got some from dodgy frees or from dodgy plays that led to him getting a goal that should have been frees, or from ones that floated the random way and floated in and shouldn't have gone in. So that would have to be the worst 6-goal game I've ever seen of recent memory, and definitely in the last few years. I'm not saying 6 goals is bad, but if you go compare it to other 6-goal games, it was really bad, to be honest. How we got 10 coaches' votes is an absolute laugh. But then again, I don't care what coaches' votes things. They just come with the most random of things. If you go look at the coaches' votes this week alone, there's some games where, like Brendan Starcevich got bloody coaches' votes, Harris Andrews in the Saints game. Where the hell was Rowan? And Oscar McInerney, please. Rowan Marshall destroyed him, and Oscar McInerney got in the freaking votes before him. This is just the piss take these coaches' votes are. The real votes at the Scoops Medal, which you'll see between the last round 24, and the week 1 of the finals, which is the week of AFLW, Monday night Scoops Medal, Tuesday night probably Scoops, and Wednesday night the AFLW show. Maybe I'll switch it around. We'll wait and see in the order I do that in. Maybe AFLW will be Monday, Tuesday Scoops Medal, Wednesday Kids Scoops. We'll have to wait and see, which I'll work that out closer to that week, which is fast approaching. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought the Crows played better. Geelong just kept getting a couple of goals, and then Adelaide kept getting them back, and credit to the Crows, they had a chance late. Dawson, Laird played terrific as well. Mitch Hinge played his part as well. I thought, as I said, those key forwards for Crows as well, so they were a bit stiff. Next game, which was the night games, they were 2 of the most random results you could pick. You auto-generate results on AFL Live or AFL Evolution or whatever they call it these days. These are results that you would get on that. Like, literally, you have the Port Adelaide Football Club at Sydney Swans. Just hear me out, everyone. During the second quarter, Port Adelaide were 71, Sydney were 0. The final scores, 148 to 36. 112-point victory to the Port Adelaide Football Club. What the hell was that? I mean, I don't care that Sydney are first. That's completely embarrassing for anyone. And we destroyed their confidence, it seems, because once we beat Sydney, they then beat North, they then lost to someone else, and now they've just got embarrassed by Port. So, hey, if we ruined Sydney's season, great. Or ruin their momentum and everything. That's just completely unacceptable. I'm not even going to mention one bloody player for Sydney, because not one player deserves a mention. In fact, they all should be ashamed, and they shouldn't be getting paid at all for this week, because none of them turned up at all. That was crap. That is piss poor performance from the Sydney Swans whole group in the game against Port Adelaide. They'll bounce back. They're bloody good, the Swans, but that performance, as John Lomo would say, was completely unacceptable behaviour. That was just laughable, really, if I'm being brutally honest. But hey, here we are. For Port Adelaide, Willem Drew, Zach Butters, Connor Rosie, Mitch Georgiades, Willie Rioli, all played their part, among others. All right, the next game, 84 Collingwood 84, Carlton 81. Congratulations again to Scott Penderbury on game 400. He almost kicked one of the goals of the year in the first quarter. From the check side on the left pocket for a left footer, hit the goal post. That would have lifted the roof off the MCG, which there is no roof. That's how loud it would have gotten. But Mitch McGovern, the Pies, look, to their Carlton's credit, they came back and the Collingwood almost choked a 4 to 5 goal lead, just like Hawthorn did and Freo did the next day. But credit to them for hanging in there. Well, they got Mitch McGovern to thank, who had a shot after the siren, 30 metres out on a slight angle, shit the bed, cracked under the pressure, and kicked it out in the full. And Scott Prenderbury gets to celebrate his 400th game in style. Right under Pendles on that milestone. Really break the game's record holder. He'll play on again next year. He could be contention to beat Boomer Harvey's record. I think it's 429 or something like that. Boomer has a 427. Pendles will have to play after next year. So if he gets a long-term injury, which we hope not, he won't get it. But if he doesn't, he could get it. So regardless, that's a big win in Collingwood's season as well. Keeps them alive just. They lost that. They were finished. And then it was only down to Essendon and Hawthorn for the last spot with Bulldogs and Carlton, etc. and Geelong. So really, they're very, very lucky. So the Pies live for another day, and they got the Swans at the SCG this week, which we'll preview very shortly. Right under Pendles. Mitch McGovern's broken Pies hearts before. Now Pies fans love Mitch McGovern again. So, so that's what it'll be. All right, let's now move along to the next game. We got GWS 84, Hawthorn 82. Again, Hawthorn have got no one to blame but themselves. They choked a 29-point lead, okay? That's like embarrassing to say the least. They were going for like 9 or 10 wins in a row. They've had a bloody impressive run. But to choke that lead is completely unacceptable. Apparently, that is the biggest comeback in three-quarter time in history, which is very, very amazing. So, that's very good for them to do very well. In that moment, the Giants, that is, like Whitfield, Tom Green, another guy that people don't show enough respect to. And maybe one week on Scoop Show's Bank. Oh, shit, I've still got that banner up. That reminds me there. So that reminds me, yeah. Tom Green haters, you need to be bloody appreciative of Tom Green. Tom Green and Adam Treloar are two players that Tom Green can fit in the same categories I mentioned with Adam Treloar. In terms of the disrespect shown by AFL media and fans. Where's the credit to Tom Green? A lot more than it should. Tom Green was terrific. 1 goal, 25 disposals, did really well, a lot of tackles, as he always does. Lockie Whitfield was good. Jesse Hogan was good. Very, very good were those guys. All right. And then Jai Newcomb had 30 touches for the Hawks, but, it is what it is there. All right, the next game, Essendon and Fremantle. Essendon 90, Fremantle 89. Again, come from behind victory. Credit to Essendon for doing that. But shame to Fremantle for choking a 4 to 5 goal lead like Hawthorn did and like Collingwood almost did. And Gold Coast had a lead and choked a lead as well. So it's just pathetic, really. With a lot on the line for Freo, they're now vulnerable to again be a side to potentially fall out of the 8 if they lose to Geelong this week in Perth, which I don't know if they will. But if they do, they are vulnerable as they've got 2 questionable games after that. Can't remember the next one, but then they've got Port Adelaide in the last game of the season. So they won't want to slip another game. And if they do, well, oh boy, they'll be very pissed if they do that. But in this game, Hayden Young kicked a couple early. Sarong was okay. Brayshaw was good. Jai Amos kicked 4. And that's about it for Essendon. It was like Merritt and Caldwell and Gresham and Stringer that played some of the best players for them. I thought Archie Roberts on debut did very well. Now, last night, Jackson Archer got the round 21 Rising Star nomination. Now, off the top of your head, Logan Evans, if they go off the so-called form, which is not what it's meant to be, it's bloody round 21 only. That's hence the name round 21 NAB Rising Star nominee. That's why this round should have been Archie Roberts. And I'm going to tell you why. He had 8 disposals at quarter time, and he finished the game with 18 disposals, so in 4 tackles. So Archie Roberts should have got the Rising Star nomination for the round. I'm sorry, that's just rigged. And if you go off the stack of form, block of form as they go off, then Logan Evans should have got it. So, but that's not what I go off anyway. But it's ridiculous. It's match fixing to a degree with that stuff. But anyway, there we are for that game. Now the last game to go through, which was my Saints and Brisbane, St Kilda 39 to Brisbane 124, 39 to 124. 85-point loss for the Saints. I labelled it in my match day vlog embarrassing and in the post embarrassing, and that's what it was. I have nothing to say outside of this that, it's good that Ross isn't happy with it. You bloody well shouldn't be happy with that because that was disgraceful. That was embarrassing Brisbane may be so good, but to lose like that, you beat Essendon by so much, and then you get embarrassed by a side the week after. Like, the inconsistency of form is shithouse. It's pathetic, really. I don't blame the forwards here. Like, people are having a go at Higgins and Caminiti and Sharman. Like, the ball was hardly down there. Timmy Membry was the only forward when it was there. That was terrific. And people blame Owens as well. Ross, please listen carefully. Mitch Owens is a forward. Stop playing him in the midfield all of a sudden. He's a forward. He does very well as a forward. But in the midfield on the weekend, he, along with a few others, didn't do great. Okay? Mitch is a great player in the forward line. Freaking leave him in the forward line. You've got mids. Play the people in the positions they should be playing in. Stop experimenting with some of these player moves. Like, I've seen players you've thrown in the midfield throughout the year that shouldn't be happening. And Mitch Owens is not a midfielder. And by the way, he's also not a backup ruckman either. That's what Caminiti's there for. You've got Tom Campbell on the list, who's bloody more than capable of playing AFL with Rowe every week. And both can play up forward. And then Mitch can stay permanently up forward. So can Hammer, Caminiti. So can Sharman. But you doing all these other moves by refusing to play two rucks, and this is what you're left with doing. A few things. And by the way, Joe Danaher had a great game. But people that blame Dougal Howard, you just look at the delivery Joe was getting. Silver platter. No defender at any club would stop any of those deliveries that Joe Danaher was getting the silver service from his midfield, like Neil and Zorko, etc., and Berry, etc., and Rayner. Like, the delivery was really good. So that's why they performed well. It's not Dougal Howard's fault. He didn't have the best game. We know that. Joe was terrific and was one of the best on the ground, if not the best. But that's just, few positional changes. I thought Angus McLennan, who came into late in for Ryan Burns, who was out with illness, had 14 disposals, had 7 marks, and he had without looking at the numbers, he had some real contested marks that were really good, and intercept marks are really good. And someone that's in the VFL this year who's toyed away, had some injuries previously before this year, but he's done really well. Happy to see him do well. Hopefully it's another game. He earned a spot. This is about someone that actually earned a spot this week. And, hopefully Winhager's back this week and he can come in for someone at the end of the team that's, but, Tom Campbell, play Tom Campbell this week against Richmond. Double team Nankervis. Tristan Cherry and Brian Teakle destroyed Toby Nankervis as a duo, mainly Cherry. So do the same for Campbell and Rowe Marshall. By the way, Rowe Marshall was terrific. I don't care what the haters say. He was very, very good. All right, now let's go wrap things up by previewing the round 22 games. So let's start off with the game on Friday night, which will be Sydney and Collingwood at the SCG, 7:40 Vic time. I am going to tip the Pies in this one by 1 point. Actually, no, screw that. I'm going the Swans by 1 point. The Swans by 1 point. The love for Pendles is over in terms of the romance thing, romance story and everything. That they're not that good in the last part of the year. They played it for Pendles. We should have a milestone for everyone's game if they wanted to play well. We're going to the Swans by 1 point to bounce back after that embarrassment this week against Port, or last week. North and West Coast at Blundstone Arena in Tassie, Saturday, 1:45 Vic time. I'll be tipping North in this one by 12 points. 1:45 on Saturday at the Gabba. Brisbane hosting GWS. This will be a great game, a cracking game. I'm going for the Brisbane Lions by 1 point in this one. Fremantle and Geelong, 4:35 at Optus Stadium. I'll be tipping Fremantle in this one by 22 points. Saturday night games, 2 interesting games. Essendon hosting Gold Coast at Marvel Stadium, 7:30 Vic time. I'll be tipping Gold Coast to win their first away game by 12 points. Dimmer doesn't like Marvel Stadium, but now that their season is shot, they'll probably win and make you question where the hell was this against those bottom-ranked sides like North and West Coast. But yeah, here we are. The next game to go through is Melbourne and Port Adelaide at the MCG, 7:30 Vic time. I'll be tipping Port Adelaide in this one by 35 points. Melbourne season is gone, as I said. Sunday, we got 3 games. First one, 1:10 at the MCG. It's Carlton hosting Hawthorn. I'll be tipping Carlton in this one to bounce back and win by 15 points. Richmond v St Kilda, 3:20 this Sunday at Marvel Stadium against my Saints. I'll obviously be tipping the Saints to win this game by 45 points to bounce back after that disgraceful performance against Brisbane on Sunday. Saints by 45. In the last game, Adelaide and Bulldogs, 4:10 Vic time at Marvel Stadium. Adelaide v Bulldogs, 4:10 Vic time at the Adelaide Oval, should I say, Scoops. I'll be tipping Adelaide in this one by 10 points. Now, my final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend, wish someone a birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. And if you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, or any state league players like VFLW, Waffle W, Sample W, VFL, Waffle, or Sample, let me repeat that. If you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, or any state league players like VFLW, Waffle W, Sample W, VFL, Waffle, or Sample, and you love some in the podcast, in a goal kicking challenge or an interview, please send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. Thank you all. Until next week, everyone, for the podcast and every other video in between this week, the most important thing of all to remember is go the Saints, and of course, acknowledge me, the one, and all aboard the Filippo train. Then, now, forever, together. Go the Sainers. And oh, that's right, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, is back on SummerSlam. If you haven't checked out that clip, go check it out. It is absolutely glory. It is absolutely glorious because the Tribal Chief is back. I acknowledge you, my Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns.